Coming up in this video, I'm going to share the results of an experiment I've done to find out which is the best cola to mix with rum. I've been featuring a lot of spiced rums on my channel recently, and a lot of marketing behind them says they're trying to create the best spiced rum to mix with cola. So I thought, how about doing an experiment to find out what the best cola is to mix with rum? So that's what I've got for you today. I've conducted my own little experiment, so I'm going to get straight into the results. But first, I want to tell you how I've done it. So you can see the contenders in front of me. I've got Pepsi Max, I've got Fever Tree's Madagascan Cola, I've got Coke Zero, I've got Fentimans Curiosity Cola, and I've got Franklin's & Sons 1886 Cola. These are what I would class as the big five in the UK. I've stuck with branded colas. I didn't want to get into supermarkets or flavoured colas or anything like that, otherwise it becomes sort of never ending. However, I have done it with these five colas as well, and I'll share the results of those later. So they're the colas. How have I done it? I have scored each cola out of 50. What I've done, I've broken them down into five different categories. So I've tasted them all neat and scored them out of 10 of what I liked. And then I've obviously gone rum. So that was the first rum I tried. That was my token white rum that I've used, Havana 3-year-old. So that's the first, so that's another score out of 10. The second one I've done, I've gone for a kind of darker rum. This is Plantation OD. That was just what I wanted to use as a dark rum. Then is kind of a go-to golden or aged rum. I've gone with everyone's kind of favourite, Appleton's Signature Blend. You cannot go wrong with that as a rum and coke. For me, better than Mount Gay. Absolutely love that. So that was the third one, again out of 10. And then as a spiced rum, I've gone with this one. This is Two Swallows candied citrus fruit with salted caramel. For me, out of all the spiced rums I've done so far, this was the out and out best one that I tried with cola. I'll go straight into last place. Last place for me out of the five was this one. I'm really sorry, Fentimans. I really didn't like that at all. That got a combined score for me of 24 out of 50. Drinking it neat, I just thought it tasted a little bit watery and lacking flavour. And then it really didn't, and I scored that a 4 out of 10. And then for me, I just, with all these rums that I tasted, it just did nothing for me. I was very generous, kind of gave it 5 out of 10s all the way through. So 24 out of 50 in last place was Fentimans Curiosity Cola. In fourth place, this actually might surprise quite a few of you as well. No, not Coca-Cola. We're going Fever Tree. Again, neat. It's much like their tonic water. If any of you kind of have heard or seen what I've posted about Fever Tree's tonic waters, tasting them neat, it just doesn't work for me. If you're going to drink that as a neat cola, it just doesn't work. And has scored it marginally higher than Fentimans with a 5 out of 10. Just pretty much tasteless, if you ask me. However, there's something really weird that Fever Tree does when you mix it with certain things. All right, it wasn't fantastic with Havana. I didn't score it too well with that. It wasn't fantastic with Plantation. But when you mixed it with that, Appleton, so as a rum and coke, actually for me that actually was joint tied as the best mixer to go with Appleton. Something really weird when you mix Fever Tree that just sort of comes alive. So even though it was in fourth place, as do you know what, as a mixer, it's not actually that bad. It's just all round underperformed. So there's a lot, 3 others here that I scored a lot higher, but it's going to work with things like this. In third place and losing out by just 1 point with a score of 35 out of 50. This was a bit of a weird one for me because neat, I used to bet, when I was younger, I used to be a devoted Pepsi fan. I used to love Pepsi more than I ever did cola. However, I think now we're in the sort of low sugar era and things like that. I don't think Pepsi Max comes up against Coke Zero at all. So out of the big two, it was a clear out and out winner between these two. However, when you come to mixing it, again, there was two that it fell down with and two which actually really come to life. The two that it fell down with were these two, Havana 3-year-old and Plantation ODs, kind of your dark and your sort of white rums. I really just didn't compare to the top, the winners of this by any stretch of the imagination. However, it was close to being my out and out favourite with the spiced rum. So again, it just depends what you're kind of mixing with and the flavour profile there. But for me, by 1 point, was third place. Which brings me now to the runner-up, Cola. Now, this still lost by a whopping 6 points. This scored 36 out of 50, and the winner I gave 42 out of 50. Again, so just 1 point ahead of Pepsi. This, drum roll, was Franklin's & Sons 1886 Cola. Absolutely love this neat. This is really nice flavoursome cola. This, if you've never heard of it before, 1886 Cola with cola nut and Colombian coffee bean in there. Same as the Fever Tree, it's got Madagascan vanilla and things like that in it. Now this was really weird because this did the polar opposite to what Pepsi did. As I said, lovely neat, whereas Pepsi kind of didn't work with those two. Franklin's & Sons did. It worked a treat with kind of Havana 3-year-old and the Plantation OD. The thing that let it down was the fact that it just didn't work with these at all, in my opinion. There was something, a little bit of a flavour clash going on with the spiced rum and the Appleton. So bearing in mind that they're kind of going to be the bigger two sort of serves for this, your kind of spiced rum category and your lovely kind of aged rum category, I had to sort of mark it just slightly less than what the winner did, which obviously brings me to the winner, hands down, with a whopping score out of 42 out of 50, was Coca-Cola Zero. This is just a class apart. It begs the question, why do other brands try and compete against this? It sounds really stupid, but even with their quirks, nothing comes even close to the taste comparison of what this does neat and mixing with rum. I scored it joint, the same as that, neat, but then as soon as you mix it with rum, the only one to let it down slightly was the Havana 3-year-old there. These three all scored whopping 9s out of 10s. Absolutely lovely. For me, there is just absolutely no comparison on the market. Coca-Cola Zero, if we're going for that low sort of sugar, low calorie kind of thing, there is absolutely no competition to this. However, I just want to bring in something a little bit different for you, because I mentioned right at the start, I did do these 5 as well. Now we have, if you include these 5, and bearing in mind they are flavoured colas, there's spicy, and then we've got smoky, spicy, herbal and woody there as well. Actually, one of them did come out and out second against all of those. I just thought it was absolutely amazing, and that one was Lamb and What. I mentioned it in the last video that I did. It's a spicy cola, only available online at the moment, but it is absolutely lovely, and this scored for me 39 out of 50. Just worked very, very well with all the rums. Came into its own with the spiced rum, that sort of spiciness, balancing out with the spices of that, just exceptionally well. Out and out last place of all 10 that I tried was Coca-Cola's Herbal. That just does not go with rum. I dislike it a hell of a lot. It's just, for me, it's not a mixer to go with rum. But the other 3 in the Coca-Cola signature range didn't do too bad, actually. We've got 33 out of 50, we've got 34 out of 50, and we've got 35 out of 50, woody being the 35 there, and the spicy being the 34. So overall, they're actually, for me, they did taste better than kind of the Pepsi, a lot better than the Fever Tree. But my top 3, first place Coca-Cola Zero, second place Lamb and What Spicy, but if we're going normal colas, third place or second place, if we're just being really strict with normal colas, was Franklin's & Sons 1886 Cola. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what your favourite cola is. Do you even consider there is anything else apart from Coca-Cola? That's what I want to know. So hope you enjoyed that. That has been what is the best Coke to mix with rum.